Here we go again. Welcome everyone and welcome back to the Global Startup Competition 2021. And today we are here for the grand final. We would like to take the opportunity first to thank our amazing sponsors. We could not run this event without your wonderful support. Our platinum sponsors, Schwarz, Spinnersley and Associates, our vertical sponsors of the Mobility and Smart City Track, Intesa San Paulo, and our overall Global Startup Competition sponsors, Invest Hong Kong and Start Me Up Hong Kong. We could also not run this event without the amazing support of our partners around the world. And this time again, we had over 40 amazing partners supporting us. And we could not have such a diversity and such a huge quality in applications and semi-finalists and finalists without your wonderful support. And I hope you're tuning in from around the world and supporting the portfolio companies that are pitching here today. I would like to hand it over now to the managing partner of Schwarz, Spinnersley and Associates, Christy Schwarz, to address a few words.
Thanks very much, Karina. On behalf of Schwarz, Spinnersley and Associates, I am thrilled to be on the judging panel for today's Global Startup Competition final. We have an incredible portfolio of contenders for today's final round, and I'm excited to hear each of your pitches. As a newly formed law firm, we have now entered our second year of operations and understand the journey that each of today's finalists have been through, and boy, do we know it. I applaud each and every one of you for your successes today. We are also proud to sponsor the Global Startup Competition. We are very pleased to be able to lend our support to the emerging companies and to highlight upcoming talent that will disrupt and improve our environment through innovative technical development. A big thanks and shout out to the team at Angel Hub and W Hub, who are diehard champions for change. This is sure to be an incredible event that will support and develop our global startup ecosystem. Good luck to all of today's finalists. Break a leg, as they say.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much, Christy. And as you will all see in a few minutes, that we have the pleasure to have Christy also as one of our distinguished judges. Now I would like to hand it over to our overall Global Startup Competition sponsors. And on behalf of Invest Hong Kong and the Start Me Up Hong Kong team, I would like to pass the mic over to C.Y. Long, Senior Manager of the Start Me Up Hong Kong team.
Hello, everyone. Hey, can you all see me? Right, this is CY.
We can see and hear you.
Hey, this is the CY from Invest Hong Kong, the Start Me Up Hong Kong team. So Invest Hong Kong, it is a Hong Kong government department. What we do is we support overseas companies to come to Hong Kong, expand, and also to develop your business. We do everything we can do to support you. We have a dedicated team, that is my team, called Start Me Up Hong Kong HK. What we do is to support startup companies to grow and also to support foreign entrepreneurs to find their business opportunities in Hong Kong and going beyond, right? So what we do, it is a government service, so it's free of charge. And then we've been working with W Hub, Angel Hub for many, many years. They practically grow as our startup ecosystem grow. And now we have a very vibrant startup ecosystem in Hong Kong with 8 unicorns by the end of last year. And I think a lot more will grow. And so for you, yeah, you guys, congratulations. You've made it so far to the finale. And I wish you all the best. Good luck. And if you have any questions or you have interest of coming to Hong Kong later on, feel free to come to us. We're happy to provide more support to you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, CY. Thank you. Thank you. And last but not least, I would also like to give Vincenzo Antonetti the opportunity to address a few words to the finalists and everybody who's tuning in to watch the Global Startup Competition 2021. Vincenzo has the pleasure to head the network development team at Intesa San Paolo Innovation Center and is joining us live from Turin, Italy. So I'll hand it over to you, Enzo.
Thank you very much, Karina. Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vincenzo Antonetti. I'm the head of network development at Intesa San Paolo Innovation Center. This is Turin's landscape. As you can see, we are the only one skyscraper in town, so it's easy to find us. We're based in Italy, of course, but we've been working with the Asian Pacific market for 5 years, let me say. A special thanks to Karina and Josephine for having me here. Frankly, the collaboration with W Hub and Angel Hub started 4 years ago, let me say, but today I'm super excited to announce that we are officially partners for upcoming activities for 2021 activities in the Asian and Pacific market. We are Intesa San Paolo Group. We are part of Intesa San Paolo Group, the first banking group in Italy, the third in Europe in terms of market cap. But we have an entire innovation center dedicated to innovation activities. What we do, as you can see, we have a strong international footprint, and in the Asian market, we have an hub in Hong Kong, but also branches in China mainland, Japan, and Australia as well. What we do, we support the transition of our Italian manufacturing ecosystem towards open innovation. We support the transition of our corporate customers towards circular economy in particular, everything that is sustainability and ESG activities. We support the growth of international startups through acceleration programs. We have 3 laboratories dedicated to neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and circular economy as well. And we invest into those most important realities with our Neva asset management company that, of course, invest into the equity of those startups if they are really interesting for our group and not only. We cover all the industries that are typical in Italy, but also abroad. We have a strong customer base. We have 20 million customers from all over the world, but we strongly believe into the Greater Bay Area ecosystem as a provider of technology for our European corporates. We support the Softlanding programs for those realities that wants to join the Asian and Pacific market, thanks to Softlanding programs, support, bureaucracy support, financial support, acceleration programs, thanks to the partnership with W Hub and Angel Hub that can be a key partner for facilitating the collaboration between Chinese corporates and Italian and European corporates. So we're expecting a lot from this partnership. We'll be running a new program in November. The next program will be Start It Asia. That it's a program focused on smart mobility and smart city for this 2021 year, offering for them boot camp and training session, networking activities, networking event, B2B meeting with corporates, investor arenas, and all that can facilitate the collaboration between the Far East. This year we'll be in partnership with W Hub, Invest Hong Kong as well, because Invest Hong Kong is a key partner from the government to support local innovation ecosystem in Hong Kong and not only. But let me say, I'm super excited to be part of this ecosystem, and we consider the Greater Bay Area as the new Silicon Valley for all the activities related to innovation and to technological development. So good luck, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much, Enzo. Thank you. Yes, and we are very much excited and honored as well, and looking forward to this partnership and many fruitful outcomes out of it. With that, just gonna want to make sure that really thank you, Christy, thank you, CY, and thank you, Enzo, for that wonderful support also for the Global Startup Competition and these ongoing annual programs. Just a very quick intro about ourselves for those who are tuning in for the first time today. So for W Hub, we believe in startups. We believe in startups driving innovation and economic growth. That's why we made it our mission and passion to helping startups unleash their full potential and connecting them to all the resources they need to grow. And arguably with that, helping all ecosystem stakeholders connect and tap into the innovative power of our ecosystem. Hong Kong and more the Greater Bay Area. So Enzo, you already mentioned about it, and stay tuned during the judges' deliberation. We will have our wonderful COO Josephine talk and tell you more about what the Greater Bay Area is. So Enzo said it's the new Silicon Valley of Asia. I think it's so much more, but stay tuned. So with that, we also set out to make a big difference in the fundraising ecosystem. So sister company Angel Hub is here to help startup founders focus on what they do best, build their business, and at the same time also democratizing access to startup investing and opening up this very distinct asset class to all interested and potential investors. So Angel Hub is Hong Kong's very first SFC regulated startup investment platform. We have over the past 18 months invested into 8 portfolio companies, and we are here to support obviously this global startup competition and looking for another winner. Now, this whole Global Startup Competition 2021 is once again part of our flagship conference, SIS. SIS stands for Scale Up Impact Summit this year and is once again a core event of the week-long festival called Start Me Up Festival. Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival, and CY alluded a little bit, it's sponsored and supported by the government, by Invest Hong Kong and the Start Me Up Hong Kong team. So please make sure you scan this code and grab some still relatively cheap tickets. Prices increase very soon, so make sure that you log in and that you secure your space. Now, we are now all here to watch the startups and try to understand who will be the winner and what is up for grabs. So the startups know it. You know, they went through 5 semifinals, vertical specific, and today the winner can win up to $10,000 in cash and the opportunity to raise an equity investment of up to $1 million. The judges today will going to be once again my wonderful colleague Nicholas Breitberg, who is heading the investment strategy at Angel Hub, and I am thrilled that I have my co-founder Karen Conte as well on the judging panel. And as I mentioned at the early beginning, we're very honored to have our platinum sponsors from Swartz Bindersley and Associates, the managing partner Christy Swartz, here with us. So with this distinguished panel of judges, we will be looking at the 10 pitches today and assessing the companies with these criteria. Obviously, we're going to look how innovative the solution is that the companies are pitching us, how that solution was crafted around into a business model that can show traction, that customers are out there ready to pay money, and that this business model is scalable and sustainable and addressing a market of big size, a huge potential. And obviously, we will look at the team that stands behind it to bring this solution forward and scale it to big heights. And as in every pitching competition, we'll also judge the quality of the pitch. Now, as I mentioned previously, our startups come from around the world. Also, our finalists today, we have companies not only from Hong Kong. So what we are also looking into is, do we actually do a favor to these companies to help them, you know, scale here in Asia at their current stage of journey? So with this, the finalists, and for all those who have followed us along the semifinals around the 5 different verticals would already know them. So the finalists coming out of the FinTech B2C semifinals, the winners there were Lucy Holdings and Alpha Brain Hong Kong. The FinTech B2B winners were Mojo Domo and Stacks. The Mobility and Smart City winners, Data and Easy Global. The Green Tech winners were, as we can see here, Re Engine and Damogo, and the Health Tech semi-finalist winners, Smart Future and Pair Bio. So with this, I guess that everybody is set up. Everybody is in the starting blocks and the judge deliberation, not yet. I'll just remind all our pitching teams while I unshare my screen and make room at the stage for you guys, that you have 3 minutes for pitching and 5 minutes for Q&A. Okay, so just be conscious of the time. I'll try to be as blunt as I usually try to be during these pitching competitions. So I'll cut you off after 3 minutes, and I'll also stop the Q&A after 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm looking a little bit sideways to the waiting room and want to make sure that Raymond from Alpha Brain is ready. Yes, so Raymond, if you can unmute, fantastic. I can hear you. Okay. And if you would like to share your screen, you know the drill. Great. You already successfully made it into the finals. Fantastic. We can see your screen. Great. Very good. And then with that, if you are ready, I'll just going to set the timer, and then we can actually get started. Ready to go?
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Okay, well, we need your camera though. Apparently, let me see. I can still see Enzo. So maybe it's because your camera is not enabled.
Oh, no,
okay.
I'm able to see myself though.
Okay, you're able to see yourself. Okay. Yeah. Then give our tech team just a few seconds. Okay. Okay. If you just say a few words again, because sometimes it takes some time to flip over just to recognize who is speaking. Just say a few. Where are you calling us in from today?
Hong
Raymond?
Kong.
Hong Kong, right?
Hong Kong.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, I got timer, everything ready. So if you want to start, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody is able to see myself.
Perfect, I can see you now, exactly, and hear you. Okay, great. Here we go.
Get started. Okay, so very honored to be here. Our project is called Music Hotpot. What we're doing is to bring the young people creation music to their fans directly without the rip-off from the middle platforms. Basically, we're utilizing the blockchain technologies and uploading the music onto the blockchain so they can transfer directly. And we built the CRM system, customer relationship management system, around it, so people, the artists will be able to see how they are doing on the blockchain and the performance, as well as some tools for them to upload the music onto Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, etc., etc. So creating a P2P platform. This is a screenshot of how our product looks like right now. As you see, it's very simple. The young artist basically doesn't have to do anything, but just to upload their music, and then there's a whole bunch of tools for them to sell their music, and physical and also digital as well. We have been around for less than a year, but we already have a lot of success in the market, in the local market right now. In Hong Kong, we have over 50% of the local artists, young artists, indies, have joined our platform. The last count, we have about 135 right now. And with cooperation with the largest land developers, K11 New World Center, New World Development Groups in Hong Kong, supporting us with a good contract, and also support from Cyberport as well. Very good news. Last week, we just renewed our partnership with New World Development Company, and then within the next 24 months, we will have more exciting event going on to promote the local hot pop music together. They have about 100 shopping malls around the regions, so that is going to be exciting news for us and major recognitions. We are also moving into our new home 2 weeks ago, our new music studio right now, and we're doing all our work over there with the music and things like this. Upcoming, we will be focusing on our CRM solutions and utilizing what we have done so far with the communities and taking advantage of the NFT, which is the hottest topic right now in the market. And we are raising a PA round to build to focus on the our trading platform and the communities and our accounting system to take advantage of this hype. And so we are very excited about that. So far, we have, as I mentioned, we have about 130 something with 1,000 songs already on our platforms, and we are already at the break-even point with revenue coming from K11 and New World Development Group, as I mentioned earlier. So looking forward to your questions, and hopefully from the questions we will be able to learn more about each other. Okay.
That was actually perfectly timed, 3 minutes exactly. Thank you very much, Raymond.
Just for 2 days already for that.
Amazing, it paid off. Okay, I'll open the floor to the judges. Please go ahead and address your questions. Just unmute yourself and go ahead.
I'm told I'm unmuted, so I'll go for it. Thank you very much for that. Very interesting. I guess I've got 2 questions because I know other people might have them. Why blockchain? And then I did have a question if you were going the NFT route, and I see that that's actually something you were looking at. But why would you plan to go NFT perhaps for artists that aren't that well known yet?
Well, for blockchain, because blockchain is the technologies allowing this to happen, like a C2C or we call P2P solutions, like with the new technologies, that's the only way so far. And utilizing the NFT solution is to increase the income. This is our purpose to help. That's why we are building the company, is to increase the income for the young artists over here and to promote their music so they can have enough funding. As you know, with the music platform right now, Spotify, Tencent Music, they get paid by pennies only. So that's why we are doing that and taking advantage of it and to build a bigger, broader audience for their creations too.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello, Raymond. Here's Nicholas speaking. Quick question on your revenue model and also how you want to share the revenue between you and the artists that you are willing to help.
Basically, our business model initially is very simple. We take a small cut from the transaction fee as a transaction fee for every dollar they made, and also we get income from, as I mentioned, the New World Development Groups as well. When we are creating events with them or for them, they pay us to promote their brand. So there is additional income from advertising too. Also, we just starting a artist management team that would be able to generate extra income from that too. So the possibility is unlimited, I would say. We will continue to explore more. So far, it is the transaction fee by selling the music, digital and physical, as well as the event management fee is our major income at the moment.
Okay, and just an additional question on that. So how do you price the music, the NFTs that you are selling on the platform? Is that the artist deciding it, or?
Exactly. We do not price what they create. They price themselves and their fans price it for them. So basically what we are doing is promoting for them, providing the tools, the application for them to make their music more attractive to their fans. So it's so to increase the value, and that's why we want to take advantage of the NFT technologies and the environments to increase their income.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And I have another question, which is, how is the competitive landscape?
A lot of people seeing that we are competing with Spotify and Tencent, but actually we don't. We actually partnership with them. We are in engaging a talk with partnership with them because they see us as a compromising each other's. Because we are actually creating new artists, creating communities so they can have more fans to use their service in their platform. And also they are also facing a big problem right now is the licensing fee too. They pay hundreds of millions of dollars to the labels to buy the music to put on their platform. But as you can see, utilizing what we have and our artists, basically they can eliminate that cost and make them profitable. So that is how we're seeing it. And on the other hand, yeah, we are competing with the other NFT, but project, but we have an advantage. It's like we already have the communities. We are a real music platform. We are not a blockchain project. We are a music project, just happens to utilize blockchain technologies. And so we are quite a few far miles ahead of them in that case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you. Just very quickly, still 30 seconds left, but if you could just give us your key go-to-market strategy, how you acquire your customers.
Building the community, making them look attractive, and also we are in Hong Kong, which is the birthplace of the Canton pop music, which is like a $200 million market, and over 50% of Chinese song is Cantonese pop. We are in a perfect positions to grow and go locally as well as internationally in the near future.
Okay, thank you. Well, with this, the 5 minutes Q&A are up. Thank you so much. If I could please ask you to unshare your screen, Raymond, and then stay tuned.
Okay,
while we make place. Thank you very much. While we make place for DemoGo. And normally I should have Lynn coming up on my screen. Let's see. Lynn, I already hear you? Can we do a voice check already?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. Good to see you again. Wonderful. Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. And while you're loading your presentation, I'll just remind you once again, there will be a 3-minute pitch and I'll interrupt you after 3 minutes and then we can go straight away into 5 minutes of Q&A. Okay?
Sure.
You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, then here you go. The floor is yours.
Okay. So 1/3 of all the food produced in this world goes to waste. We don't touch it, we don't eat it. Now, a lot of this waste comes from restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores who made too much food and they're forced to throw it away at the end of the day. But also at farms in Indonesia, 30 to 40% of every single agriculture harvest also gets wasted just because it looks weird or it's ugly, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Now, all this is perfectly good food that can be sold on our app and be brought back into the market. We created a B2B2C mobile app to solve the problem of unsold food for any food business. We get them more revenue, more customers, and we reduce their food waste. What we do is we help the local farmers in Indonesia sell their ugly or weird looking food and vegetables directly to our 3,000 restaurant partners. And in turn, our restaurant partners will make the menu items with it. And if there's any unsold food at the end of the day, they can upload it directly to our app and sell it directly to our B2C users. And everything along this chain is highly discounted. In addition, not only will our restaurant partners be able to manage the ordering of fruit and vegetables from us, but we'll also give them the ability to manage all their suppliers right on our app. So there's no more messy WhatsApp groups, no more phone calls or emails or text messages, no more missing invoices or not knowing what the current pricing is. We're going to replace all of that with one screen on our app, and all of our partners will be able to save both time and money. For our business models, anything purchased from farms by our restaurant partners, we put 20 to 40% margin on. Anything purchased on the B2C side from the restaurants, we keep 15% of every purchase. We're getting ready to pilot test with Indonesia's largest grocery store chain, and we just signed a strategic investment MOU with one of the largest spring bottled water manufacturers and distributors. This will give us access to their entire sales and distribution channels, which could potentially give us more than 20,000 new B2B customers. Obviously, this will help us scale very quickly. We just launched in August, and our monthly revenue has grown pretty quickly to $40,000 a month, mainly because of our B2B business, which now comprises over 95% of our revenue. Because of these numbers, we're putting more focus on our B2B business. I'm a Korean American with over 13 years of experience in all levels of the global food industry as an entrepreneur. My co-founder Faraz is from Indonesia. He lived in Korea for 7 years where we met, and he went back to Indonesia early last year to kick off our operations over there. And it's because of his really strong network of contacts that we're able to get off to a fast start. We currently have a team of 20 people. We're getting ready to close our seed round of $450,000, of which $350,000 is soft committed from VCs as well as notable angel investors. We're maxed out operationally and we cannot meet all the demand we have. So much of these funds will go to immediate hires of new team members to help support our growth, which would get us to $1.5 million of revenue within a year. Now we're getting ready to make great profits, but we're also making profit for a cause. So I hope everyone here can join us in our profitable and impactful journey. Thank you.
Well, that was once again a perfect pitch. 2 seconds left, amazing. So we can head straight away into Q&A. So I'll leave it first up to my co-judges to address their questions. 5 minutes, actually. Did I say anything else? Yes, so 5 minutes.
Okay.
So please just.
I'll jump in. I thank you very much for that. I find this a really interesting proposition. And I guess to steal a line from Crazy Rich Asians, they're starving people and starving children in America. So I'm super happy that someone's tackling this and looking at ways to be good for business. Obvious question, but I'm just curious. You don't mention about whether the model you think is applicable to other Asian jurisdictions or other jurisdictions full stop, but I'm just curious what your next plans might be. I noticed that you're Indonesia and Korea, but do you have any other plans for further expansion, and maybe if so, when? Because it sounds like you're off to a great start.
Yeah, we're currently operating only in Indonesia, and our next steps would be other parts of Southeast Asia, maybe Thailand. We've had some interest from Bangladesh, and I know that's a good market for us. So Southeast Asia is a good market because as the middle class grows, there's going to be more waste. There's going to be more options of food, and they're going to want more and waste more. So it's a good time for us to try to prevent this from happening.
Thank you.
Yes, hello. Yeah, good.
Well, yeah, maybe a quick question on your competition, because there was nothing mentioned on that during the fantastic pitch you delivered.
Sure. So competitors in Indonesia, on our B2C side, we have one that's similar on just the B2C side. On the B2B side, we do have two pretty large startups that work directly with farmers and sell B2B or B2C. However, we are moving more towards the supplier managed procurement part, which they wouldn't really be direct competition, but we would be able to partner with them. And we've actually spoken to one of them, and we're talking to do collaborations with them because they would be able to use our supplier management tool and and we would help them be more efficient. So we're actually talking to one of them right now.
Thank you very much. Very impactful. I was wondering, for this 1.5 million of revenue, how much food does it represent?
How much? I'm sorry?
Food.
Well, right now, I wish I had the exact numbers. My co-founder, who's a CEO, has the exact numbers of how much impact we're making as far as saving food. And I did have a slide in the previous pitch in semifinals that showed our impact. I could get that information for you and send it to you personally, because I just don't have that number right now.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Just remind me again when it comes about growth. Obviously, it's more customers, but also I want to have a little bit of a zoom in the terms of stickiness of your business model. So if you can tell us a little bit more about how a restaurant onboards and then how they upgrade potentially.
Sure. So on the B2B side, we've had pretty high retention. The reason we were losing some customers was because some of the smaller restaurants were going out of business. So that's one of the concerns, especially with COVID. Some of the restaurants do go out of business. The big, which is why we're trying to get more, also more medium and larger ones, which likely won't go out of business. On the B2C side, so we put more focus on the B2B side now. And so the B2C side, we haven't really put much more focus because most of our revenue is coming from the B2B side. But early indications, we showed that more than 55% of users that made a purchase made a second purchase within 2 or 3 weeks. That was our early numbers in the beginning.
Okay, great. That's helpful. Thank you. And then in terms of customer acquisition, again, if you can give a little bit more highlights on your go-to-market strategy.
So right now for our B2B side, it's all been word of mouth. Well, initially we did through our network. And then from there, it's been word of mouth with restaurants telling others, because we're not only saving them money procuring their fruit and vegetables, but we have over 100 SKUs, which is more than their typical suppliers. And also we do next morning delivery every single day, which many people don't. So it's been pretty easy for us to so far acquire merchants on the B2B side. And we just hired a salesperson, and after we raise funds, we're going to hire more salespeople to grow that quicker.
Great, thank you. We'll have 20 seconds left. I'm not sure if one of the judges has a quick one.
Quick one on the team, maybe. How many people are on the tech side? How many people are more on the business side?
We have 5 people on the tech side. We have 20 people total, 5 people on the tech side, 4 people in marketing, 3 people in sales, and the rest is customer service and co-founders.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the Q&A. Thank you very much,
everyone.
Lynn.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you can unshare your screen now. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
And I should now see Miranda. Let me see if I can hear Miranda from Data AI. I think we're trying to pull her up. Okay, we'll get that one. Thank you. I can still see Lynn. Fantastic. But we're trying to get Miranda from Data AI
Hi,
on
everyone.
the screen. Yes, I can hear you. Fantastic, Miranda. Great to see you again.
Great to see you all again too. I was just told that my voice is a little bit lagging, so hopefully it's not too much of the.
Now it's
issue.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, now it's good.
Okay, let me try to share my screen.
Yes. And Lynn, if you could please mute yourself, that would be great. So just to make sure that your image doesn't pop up. Okay, here we go. Fantastic. And you can share your screen now, Miranda. And I'll just remind you also, it's a 3 minutes pitch. And then there will be 5 minutes for Q&A. Okay.
Sure.
So we can see your screen. You maybe want to go into presentation mode. Fantastic. And then you just
all good?
know. That is perfect. So
Nice.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, then shoot away.
Okay. So hello everyone, I'm Miranda from Data AI. And before we really dig in, I want everyone to picture e-commerce or brick and mortar store in their head. A lot of you might have the perception that e-commerce is growing so fast and is taking up most of the market share in retail industry already. However, we know that's not the truth. As of 2021, global retail value of brick and mortar stores still accounts for 81.9% of the total value. And although e-commerce keeps to grow, we all know that brick and mortar store is never totally replaceable. It represents brand image, it offers good shopping experience, and most important of all, it provides customer ways to trust your business. So now we know what is happening in retail industry. What about the innovation on both sides? While there are growing numbers of analytic solutions for e-commerce, we know that brick and mortar stores are still struggling to even know how many people are coming into the store. And neither hiring someone, pushing the clicker at the entrance, or spending hundreds of thousands installing a sensor would be a better way to approach this problem. And this is where we want to step in and help. Allow me to introduce you Cyclops, the AI cloud video analytics solutions for brick and mortar stores. So Cyclops stream video footage directly from surveillance camera and run our own AI program to get visitor data. As a result, we can help users to achieve real-time management and business intelligence. So user will be able to identify abnormal situation in real time or also observe data pattern for future strategies. And not only are we able to achieve 98% of data accuracy and 4 times better the efficiency, more importantly, we're able to lower 54% of average response time and increase 20% of average sales for all of our users. And none of these benefits come with high unaffordable price. Cyclops adapts a flexible subscription model that can start as low as 328 Hong Kong dollars only per month. And as within the first year of launching, we already be able to get 350 cameras on board, 251,000 Hong Kong dollars monthly recurring revenue, and a 12% of monthly growth rate. But this is not where we're gonna stop. In the future, we're also looking into exploring the full potential of video analytics into smart city, no matter in security, elderly care, education, and so on. We're already the leading player in retail industry, but we're also looking into providing smart solutions for even more players in the society. want to explore more digital power in the physical world, Cyclops through choice. This will mark the end of my presentation, and now I'll be happy to take any question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Amazing. I think you all practiced several times. Perfect pitch. So 5 minutes Q&A. And Christy, if you want to shoot first, don't worry. We'll always have the pleasure to let you go first if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you, Miranda. Thank you for that presentation. I'm just curious. I'm a lawyer by background, so leave it to the lawyer to ask the regulatory issues and questions. I'm just curious if you've looked into, or if you have any, could give me any kind of suggestions about the legalities around the data privacy protection and the equipment and how it's being utilized. I guess if you could just walk me through, maybe if you've had some sort of legal opinions and some other kind of legal guidelines and regulatory issues around this, or do you think you have any?
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to answer that. So one of the core technology that we use is called facial detection. So it detects that there's a human face in the video, but we don't do facial recognition. So essentially, we don't tell the identity of that person. So this actually gives us a lot of protection about personal privacy. We have no problem complying with GDPR in Europe and also PDPO in Hong Kong. And in addition to that, we also look into some other more trivial privacy regulation. And because we didn't collect any personal information, we don't have any risk in breaching any of those as well. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess I'm curious about the technology, because AI is, as far from a legal perspective, is a little bit one of those, I guess, hot topics. Perhaps do you know anything about how, if like I walked into one of the stores that has this posted, what would be the ability to recognize me in the next? Because you say that you can recognize the facial, but there's no, I don't know whether I can understand that you'd be able to recognize everywhere you
Sure,
went.
sure. Let me elaborate a little bit on that. So what I mean is that we recognize the demographic of the people. So for example, if you walk into the store, we'll be able to tell that you're a woman and probably around 40 to 50. And maybe, for example, also from your walking behavior or your facial expression, we can tell that you're happy in our store. And this is all that we're gonna do, but we're not gonna do that, oh, this is Christy and she has shopped here before on what item. So we actually wouldn't really breach into it. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello, Miranda. Nicholas speaking.
Hello.
Very nice presentation. I had a quick question on the product itself. So first question is, how many cameras do you need for a given store? I don't know if it's per square meter or any other KPI. And
Sure.
yeah, and the second question, do you think you will find enough cameras already installed everywhere, or do you need to provide cameras as well?
Sure. Okay, so for now, for most of our clients, they already have enough camera covering their whole store because we directly access into surveillance camera. So originally for surveillance camera to provide enough level of security, it should be able to cover all the space in the store. And normally for a convenience store, say for example, 1 to 2 cameras is required to cover the whole store. But then also depending on which area you want to focus. For example, some of your users only want to focus on the entrance or cashier area. So 1 camera will be enough for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any questions, Karen?
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your competition and your edge, actually.
Sure, sure. So let me see if all you can see. We did a small competitor analysis on our competitor in the market. Most of our competitor actually require users to install an extra sensor or camera, which will takes a lot of time and also money. However, there's one of the closest competitor of us called Deep North. They didn't require any camera installation as well, but currently, as we are understanding, the whole product is still under development. So we are actually the only player in the market that is able to do surveillance camera video analytics for now. Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Maybe just a very quick one. We only have 20 seconds left. But what do your customers say in terms of the impact you create for them? Like how much increase in top line, for example?
Yes. So in addition to collecting data, another focus that we're doing now is business intelligence. So we really run regression models. We really hire data scientists to help them to read the data. So I guess that is also a very good additional to subscribing to our platform.
You.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'll have to take it with that. Thank you. Sorry to cut you off. But thank you very much, Miranda. Well done again. And you can unshare your screen now.
Okay.
Because we need to make sure that we bring Gary on the floor.
Hello.
Gary, can you hear me? Fantastic. I can hear you
Yes.
very well.
Okay,
Great. Great to see you again, calling us in from Singapore, right?
From Jakarta. I'm now in Jakarta right now.
From Jakarta. Now you're in Jakarta.
Yes.
Easy man. Perfect. Okay. You can start sharing your screen. And again, I'll just remind you that you have 3 minutes for your pitch, and then we'll have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my screen now here.
Yes, we can see your screen very well. So if you're ready, then you can shoot away.
Yes. Hi, my name is Gary. I'm from Easy.ai. We provide flexible mobile concierge and on-demand platform for hotels that help them to digitize service and boost ancillary revenues. So right now, the hotel industry is currently facing the biggest challenge ever due to COVID. They're being forced to shift their focus from present to the future, which is the new normal. And now hotels realize that they cannot only rely on room sales alone, but they also need to work on ancillary revenues with more limited operating resources. And also they need to adhere to the World Tourism Organization's endorsements of digital transformations. Now, interestingly, the whole travel industry has long shifted into mobile, but the hotel industry remains the same as ever. And this is where we come in. Our hotel partners see us more like a very own Grab platform that enables them to digitize all of services and build their very own customized on-demand platform. So from the moment guest checks in until they checked out, all of the interactions are now curated within our platform, where we have helped our hotel clients to boost up to 21% of their ancillary revenues, all while also reducing and streamlining operations and reducing bottlenecks within hotels. We have acquired more than 10,000 of rooms, with more in the pipeline, processing more than $450,000 of guest transactions and $120,000 of ARR. And since COVID, we have expanded not only all over Indonesia, but also overseas. To us, this shows a very strong demand in the market globally. A market that we see as a very interesting one because hotels globally are being operated using similar SOPs and systems. In Indonesia and Hong Kong alone, there are more than 860,000 of rooms, and that is only less than 10% of the total addressable market within the region, or 0.1% of the global market. We're the only one in the market providing a fully flexible product and commercial model that can cater to all types of hotels, combining flat subscription fee and revenue share with solid 12 to 24 month subscription. The monthly subscription part will provide us with a sustainable recurring revenue, while the revenue share part will enable us to achieve a scalable growth as a startup. And our aim is to become hotels' ultimate commerce and ecosystem. And this is us. We're a combination of expertise in more than 38 years of experience in hospitality and startups. And we have been part of various reputable startup programs and raising total of $700,000. And we're currently raising for another $250,000 in order to accelerate product development and market acquisitions and to prepare for bigger round by next year. So we invite you to join our mission and make easy as part of hotels new normal, because now is the right momentum for the hotel. Thank you.
Well, this was again a perfect pitch. Thank you very much, Izzy.
You.
And Gary, so yes, our judges, please ask your questions.
Okay, I'll jump in. Just 2 in 1 maybe. So I think the first question I have is, who is your target market, and do you think there's a competitive threat for platforms like Airbnb or any other such similar platforms?
Okay. Yes. So our target are mostly hotels and accommodations, and this is a bit of the competition that we have been made. And we're the only one in the market that can cater to all types of hotels, because our previous competitors are mostly selecting and opting to choose a specific target market, for example, luxury hotels. But we strongly believe that in order to scale, we have to be able uh, to aim for the whole bigger market and to make it as flexible as possible and just to cater value proposition for each target.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Nicholas.
Question on the industry, because obviously you are saying that the industry is pivoting and trying to find new ways of growing, but it can seem quite difficult to believe that in the current times they do have, the motivation and the resources to look for new products. What do you see on the market happening? Is it really a good timing for you to enter the market now?
Okay, yes, so probably two things. So first one is the trend that we have seen in Indonesia, because that's the very first market where we operate, is that hotels now are focused on selling and literally selling everything, not only to their hotel guests because they still have low occupancy rate, but also to outsiders. So in Indonesia, hotels are selling products, foods, everything in Instagram, in their social media, selling hampers, tickets, everything they can sell is their selling. And that's one thing they want to adopt and try to provide them with. The second part would be the timing. For us as a startup, although travel industry isn't really the sexiest part right now, but this is the most perfect momentum to disrupt the market, and it will be too late for us if we wait until the market return. Because right now, hotels are looking for solutions, and they're looking to transform the way they operate through tech solutions. And this is where we aim to be part of.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jerry. By looking at the market and the crisis, which markets do you actually target first? And that we'll see will be the first one who will need your services.
Yes, okay. So of course, the very first market for us would be Indonesia, with more than 29,000 and 700,000 of rooms. In Indonesia alone, although we have not yet returned back to normal, but we've seen increases of 20 to 40% of domestic travels over month. So over month to month, the numbers of travel increases gradually, and we've seen this very interesting momentum within travel, especially due to COVID. And the Indonesian government themselves are targeting for free of COVID campaign by end of this year, and that's why they're also implementing all of these helps and subsidizing the travel industry. So Indonesia will be the very first market where we are aiming for. Next would be Vietnam and Korea, where we have already signed some hotels in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. If you can help me a little bit understand, how do you manage the competition between the hotels? Or what does it actually mean from the end consumer, from a user experience?
Okay, yes. So the interesting part about that is that we provide a white labeled solutions for hotels. So each hotel can have their very own app. But in terms of the product and the back end itself, it's one single product. So for us, it's easier to manage everything, while every single one of these hotels can opt whether they want to join our very own platform or they want to have their very own brands or demand or apps out there. Usually for hotel chains, they want to have their very own appearance out there for their brands. So we provide this flexibility.
Okay, so for a user, actually would need to have two different apps, so to speak, for two different hotel chains?
Yes, for now, yes. But we are launching our web version by end of this year. And by mid of this year, I mean, and that web version will enable easier, onboarding process. You don't need to download the apps. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, I have to stop you here, but very clear. I got my answer. Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Karina.
And yes, with that, you already unshared your screen. Fantastic. You made room for Lucy Holdings, and we should have Debbie calling us in.
Hi.
There is Debbie. Fantastic. Great to see you again.
And you too.
Okay, so I'll let you share your screen. And while you do that, I just remind you as well that you have 3 minutes for your pitch. So far, we had perfectly timed pitches, so I didn't have to interrupt anybody. Thank you so much. So 3 minutes pitch and then 5 minutes Q&A. You let me know when you're ready.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, then please start, Debbie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Debbie Watkins, the CEO and founder of Lucy, which is a neobank for women entrepreneurs. We founded Lucy to help women entrepreneurs to go and grow and thrive. But why are we doing this? So we're having a technical problem here. Okay, well, essentially because the entrepreneurs are the lifeblood of any economy. Women entrepreneurs generate higher revenues, create more jobs, and use their profits more wisely. And yet, women entrepreneurs still have consistently less access to business building financial services than their male counterparts, everywhere around the world, at all socioeconomic levels. Empowering and enabling women to start and grow their own businesses makes sense for everyone. It just isn't happening enough. And so that is what we at Lucy decided to do. Lucy is built from the ground up to help provide entrepreneurs everywhere with the tools they need to take control of their financial future, to realize their potential, to grow and thrive. From supporting foreign domestic workers to save to start their first business back home, to helping homepreneurs get started after a career break, small and micro business owners to effectively run and grow their own businesses, and successful women to invest in other women. We've started in Singapore and will be tailoring products and languages to be relevant to each market that we move into. One size fits all is really one size fits none, and being affordable, accessible, and relevant to our customers is at the heart of what we're doing. And there's a massive untapped market that's growing, and we're ideally positioned to take advantage of it. No one anywhere else in the world is offering what we are. And no one else is better positioned to deliver than we are either. We have a solid and experienced founding team, and I personally have worked in financial inclusion in more than 30 countries. This isn't just a formative idea. Our app is already developed and in live closed beta, and we're launching publicly this quarter. The uptake and revenue projections shown here are for Singapore only, and we're aiming to expand to our second and third countries this year. We had a great pre-seed round that exceeded our expectations by more than 4 times, and careful use of these funds has enabled us to build a solid and scalable foundation on which to grow. And as we're now moving rapidly towards public launch, we're looking for the right partners to join us in our growth throughout Southeast Asia and beyond. The time is right for Lucy. There's a clear and proven need, a huge untapped market, a unique selling proposition, a strong founding team, and a profitable business model. Turning the underbanked into the unstoppable makes sense for everyone.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you very much. Perfect. I know you just came to the end of your sentence. Okay, so please, judges, shoot away. 5 minutes Q&A.
I'll jump right in. Thanks very much for that. It's Christy. Just to give you a bit of background, I am a lawyer. So I guess the first things I want to ask about are maybe if you think that there's any regulatory compliance issues around your platform. I see that you said you're going to apply for your credit union's license. Maybe if you could talk about licensing, and also perhaps the thing that caught my eye as well, as I'm aware, is the foreign domestic worker prohibition on lending. And perhaps you can talk a little bit around the legal and compliance issues that you might be facing there.
Certainly, yes. Well, in Singapore, we're actually operating using an e-money license. And this is something that's already used by people like Revolut and TransferWise. So we're already covered for that side of things. The credit union license is a separate thing that we're actually working towards, but this actually isn't reflected in our financial projections right now because it's something that we don't have confirmed. Once we do get the credit union license, this will enable us to lend, which will be a very unique model because, as you quite rightly said, I mean, there have been reductions in the last couple of years on lending through licensed money lenders. And this is something that the credit union will quite uniquely enable us to do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your pitch. I was wondering, in terms of what do you think is missing from the other neobank that you are actually offering in terms of concrete features?
Gosh, many things. I mean, I think one of the key things that we're doing is actually, first of all, designing products that actually specifically meet individual pain points rather than just being sort of generic products. If you look at a lot of the neobanks now, essentially they've got one fairly straightforward offering, which would be like a current account with a card. And the main thing that makes them the neobank is just having something that's digital and delivered via an app. Our approach is quite different to this, which is actually looking at the specific pain points of each of the market segments and designing products as well that meet those unique needs. And so it's actually not just about the delivery through the digital channel, but actually having a fully tailored suite of products.
And would you have like a concrete example?
Yeah, so one of the examples we have, for example, would be for foreign domestic workers. One of the things that we recognize is that they often need money in the middle of the month, and they don't often have many places to go to get this money. And so they're commonly sort of reduced to potentially going to their employers and feeling somewhat awkward about asking for an advance. When actually it's not really an advance, it's just sort of getting a bit of their salary early. And so one of the things that we're enabling is a wage streaming functionality that will enable them to draw down their salary whenever they want to, up to the number of days that they've worked so far already this month. So it's not credit, because if they left today, they'd actually be entitled to that money. But it gets around the awkwardness side of things, is that it's the 15th of the month, they can draw down up to 15 days of salary if they want.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. A quick question on your business model. So how do you plan to make revenue on those features?
Yeah, we have a number of different revenue streams for different aspects of our solution. So for example, wage streaming, we're charging a very, very small fixed fee of $1 for each of the drawdowns that we provide. We also have a couple of other transaction fees which are billed to whoever's gaining the most value from them. This is combined with a revenue sharing model from partners that we're integrating with. So remittances, for example, plus interchange on debit card usage. And when we're expanding into the non-financial services, so the business building tools for entrepreneurs, this is being offered on a freemium model, which enables us to provide certain parts of that solution free of charge, and others that will be charging sort of low SaaS fees or per use fees.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you very much. It was just a very short one in terms of you're in beta already. How do you go about the customer acquisition?
A number of different routes, actually. Obviously, being digital advertising is going to be one of our big things. We've actually already started our Facebook and LinkedIn campaigns to encourage people to join our waiting list. We've only had this for like 2 weeks, and it's already kind of exceeded expectations according to our marketing expert. The click-through rates and conversion rates are up there with well-established brands. So I'm taking that as being a good sign that we're resonating with people. But in addition to that, we've got some fairly well-established partnerships now with people like the NGOs who are providing support to foreign domestic workers as well.
Thank you, Debbie. I do have to cut you here, sorry, but thank you
No
very
worries.
much.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, fantastic. Great. So with that, I'll get to invite Mojo Domo on stage, and I guess it's Dennis who would be calling in. Yeah, I can see Dennis. Fantastic. Hi, Dennis. Good to see you again.
Great to see you, Karina.
Yes, and then please share your screen.
Right.
know the drill. And then, yes, today you got 3 minutes for your pitch, and then we'll have 5 minutes of Q&A for you. But I'll wait until, yes, well, I can see your presentation. Fantastic, right. We can hear you, we can see the presentation. So when you're ready, then please get started.
All right. Hello, I'm Dennis, founder of Mojodomo. We enable marketers like bank, insurance company, airline, and shopping malls for better customer engagement result with their incentive and loyalty marketing budgets. We merge technology together to eliminate waste in loyalty marketing and provide a seamless customer experience. We merge technologies, right, to eliminate waste in the loyalty marketing and provide a seamless customer experience. We drive true digital transformation and change the way marketers, customers, and merchant connect. We call ourselves OmniTech, and because we are beyond payment tech, fintech, and martech. For the past decades, it has always been paying for paper voucher, for incentive and loyalty marketing, and redeem rewards are over 360 billion US dollars. Without actual redemptions and customer behavior data, we call this failure. In customer effort, the loyalty disconnects. And we solve this marketing platform with our B2C to B OmniTech platform service. Instead of prepaid model, we transform a loyalty marketing campaign to automated instant B2B online payment upon successful voucher redemptions. And we provide marketers with real-time performance data. In our ecosystems, it is a win-win-win situations. Marketer, customer, and merchant, everybody wins. Thankfully, we have strategic partners from day one, Citibank, MasterCard, and Global Payments for the global markets. And for Chinese market, we're working closely with Alipay. When our clients saw over 50% waste in unredeemed rewards, they now report zero waste. We enable them to run 4 marketing campaigns for the price of 1. We provide shorter campaign lead time from weeks to days, far less overhead. Customer can also choose their rewards for multiple merchant, online and offline. Our growing merchant network is covering 900 cities, over 300 merchant brands. For processing a $50 voucher, we can make up to 26 revenue from marketers, more merchant and payment scheme. And by end of this year, we're extending our global merchant network with C2C2B, blockchain-based e-gift platform service. This is for my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dennis. You had actually 20 seconds more, so we'll start the Q&A earlier.
Sure.
So please, judges, just unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Right. So being the lawyer, I'm just going to jump right in. Do you think you have any regulatory compliance or licensing issues that you need to maybe address with your platform?
Thank you so much. As we are not store value, we are not tapping into a store value facilitator license or so on. That's the reason how we work with payment scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We definitely meet all the compliance that as required.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dennis, could you please share with us a little bit more on your traction so far?
Sure. So once again, one of the key value that we bring to the marketers as they pay us, right, is the merchant network and that we are growing. We're not covering just Hong Kong, but globally, like Uber covering 900 cities, and some of the hospitality and F&B merchants, including Starbucks. And also we have also got marketers like famous brand, Sun Life, regionally, Hang Seng Bank, some of the key banks, and shopping mall at the time being. We are incubated by Support, the Hong Kong government program, and also Science Technology Park, they're inviting us to join the acceleration program. So that's some of the key progress.
Okay, and in terms of revenue, maybe a figure for us?
Sure. So we got 1.6 million of US dollar for one of our revenue source, which is mainly from the marketers, including banks or insurance company that they provide us. That's B2B, but we are looking forward to a C2C model, which is individual buying, e-gift to the other individuals. So and spend at the merchant side. So that would be huge, fantastic. And we having a projections in 3 years' time, because we're expanding our coverage from now Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan to global. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And 1.6 is your prediction for 2021, right?
Yeah, for 2021, mainly in Hong Kong, because of the lockdown, we limited travel and expansion in Taiwan and Singapore at the time being, but we have already established our branch there, and things are moving remotely, but relatively slowly. So that is mainly for Hong Kong. So we are quite a conservative estimation.
And how about Q1 for this year?
It's doing quite okay. We have banks like Hang Seng Bank issuing easily like 300,000 vouchers, and we make some good progress and work together at the same time with shopping mall like Hang Lung Mall.
I meant in terms of revenue for Q1.
It's around 200K.
US.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it's about your entire revenue for 2020.
Sorry, 100K, around 100, sorry, yeah, 100K now, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Tell me a little bit more about the overall market on coupons, etc. How is that growing significantly? And then also with that, in terms of your market share projections, or who are actually your main competitors, if you have any.
Sure. So the market size is growing, especially in Asia. So we are talking about like a few $100 billion a year in Asia, and you can see that the wastage talk about 360 billion, right? So the market size is big for loyalty and for loyalty marketing and reward marketing. But then for MarTech is more on, like advertising, marketing market is even bigger. For competitors, I think we have competitors like someone called WeGift, for example. They are relatively new in UK. We're very unlike us but we have different objective that we want to achieve. So we are more on B2B2C at the time being, and then one day we'll talk to like C2C. And there's one more gigantic one called Anden Red, because they do also, as a French company, they do staff benefit. They do, so we touch a little bit something alike, but not exactly the same. So this is the competitors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. The time is up. Thank you, Dennis.
Yo, welcome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Please unshare your screen, and I can then invite Delik back on stage. Here you are, Delik. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
And I can hear you. Yes. Are you still in the UK calling us in? Yeah.
Yes. The company is
Okay.
based in the UK, in London.
Fantastic. So then good morning to you. And please, start sharing your screen. And I remind you as well that you have 3 minutes for pitching, and then we have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Great.
So we can see your screen. Now you're even in full screen mode. Fantastic. We can see you, we can hear you. So whenever you're ready, please start.
Parabio is analyzing how cancer spreads so we can find better ways to contain and kill each patient's tumor. Current cancer precision medicine uses genomics or proteomics to match patients with a targeted drug, which should kill their cancer cells while leaving the healthy cells alive. But this approach is insufficient for most cancers because you need a combination of targeted and untargeted drugs to fully remove a patient's tumor. But cancer finds a way to develop drug resistance to these combination therapies and continue to spread. and the tumor microenvironment plays a large role in aiding cancer cells. So to accommodate for this, ParaBio takes patient tumor samples and grows them in an organ on a chip, which recreates core parts of the tumor microenvironment and allows us to test different treatments in parallel to compare their efficacy. We analyze this using a microscope data and computer vision algorithm, which looks at cancer migration patterns and cell death to determine which treatments are ineffective so that oncologists can select a treatment that's actually going to work for that patient. And this algorithm becomes better over time because we use past patient data to make better predictions for future patients. We work on a range of solid tumors with triple-negative breast cancer as our lead indication. And we've already launched a pilot with MD Anderson, the #1 cancer hospital in the US. We use a central lab test service model where we charge $4,000 to $5,000 per patient, similar to Foundation Medicine and Guardant Health. Our long-term goal is to get insurance coverage for these tests so that we can maximize our market share. With 1.4 million new patients being diagnosed with a solid tumor per year in the US, and at $4,000 per patient, we have an annual potential revenue of $5.6 billion. Of that, 1.4 billion belongs to the cancers that we already work on. And by adding the Asian market to this, we have an even larger total addressable market. My background is in clinical statistics, and I've worked both in big pharma and in startups, including being the early employee of a fintech startup that grew to a $500 million valuation. My co-founder has published 17 papers in tissue engineering and biomaterials, and was an early employee at DVS Sciences, which was acquired for $200 million by Fluidigm. We're joined by a research team that has PhDs and masters in biomaterials, tumor engineering, and computer vision, as well as a business team that has experience in venture capital and operation scaling. Our advisors include a general practitioner, pharmacologist, and pathologist, as well as medical oncologists specializing in each cancer that we work on, from MD Anderson, Imperial College, Stanford, UCSF, and Fred Hutchinson. We've raised over $1.5 million to date, and we're using the seed funding to generate clinical evidence. Our long-term goal is to conduct clinical trials for FDA approval and to reach 100,000 patients tested per year. At that scale, Foundation Medicine and Guardant Health had multi-billion-dollar exits. So at ParaBio, we are analyzing how cancer spreads to find better ways to contain and kill it for each patient.
Perfect timing. Thank you very much. So judges, please ask your questions.
So I'm going to jump into different. I'm a lawyer by training, but I'm going to ask you maybe about revenue model first. I noticed that you say you've got 3.4 to 5.5 worth of deals in sales pipeline. Is that basically contracted? Is it MOU? Where do those come from? Perhaps you can just expand in general about your revenue model.
Right. So in the early stages, what we were looking at is putting these devices into research hospitals where we can charge on a per patient basis. And we're currently doing pilots with these hospitals. So that's upon converting the pilots, we can then generate revenue for these consumable kits that are sold on a per patient basis. But actually the real scalable model is the central lab test. So we use companies like Foundation Medicine and Guardant Health as the kind of precursors because they were able to scale this, the central lab model, which generates about 80% of their revenue.
I see. And is this meant to be somewhat, I guess, insurance paid? I guess when you're looking at the lab kits, I noticed that you say that it's approximately 3 to 4K per patient recurring. Is this meant to be like an covered insurance aspect? Is that why you think the number can be sustained?
Yes, so that's, again, Foundation Medicine and Guardant Health, they have insurance coverage for their tests. So post FDA approval, you would seek that. And that's the standard market price for precision medicine tests like this.
Understood. Okay, thank you. It's interesting. Super interesting.
Thank you, Dulik. A quick question on my side. You seem to start with the US market. Any reason behind that, or just an opportunity for you?
So a few reasons. I mean, basically, the US market is the biggest cancer market by spending, and most precision medicine products come first to the US market. Part of that has to do with how expensive cancer treatment is in the US. So failing treatment means you're spending a lot of money. So for example, with triple negative breast cancer, the most expensive treatment that's commonly used for patients is $25,000 per month. So imagine getting 2 months wrong of that wrong treatment, you've just spent $50,000 just on the drug cost, not even accounting for the patient hospitalization and all that extra stuff. So these $4,000, $5,000 tests are essentially a drop in the bucket compared to the wasted spending of getting a treatment wrong.
Okay. And from there, could you expand to other markets, or do you think there will be some challenges around, the cost of your solution?
Yeah. So I mean, again, with these president companies like Foundation Medicine, Guardant Health, they've also expanded to Europe. They sell their tests globally, and US is just the good first market. And of course, with automation and scaling, the costs also come down to make it a bit more affordable. But generally, the US market becomes the good first place. And then there are, the previous companies in this space have successfully scaled globally because cancer is a global problem. And there's usually enough people who need these tests where it's justified to use it for them.
Thank you.
What do you think is your timeline in terms of getting the FDA approval, and what are your different milestones in order to achieve it?
Yeah, so the FDA approval we're expecting early 2024. Before that, we have unregulated use cases for our product, like testing experimental medicines being developed by pharma companies. So that's where the early revenue comes from. But the FDA approval is definitely the biggest thing that we want to get ahead of an exit, because both Foundation Medicine and Guardant Health had their multi-billion-dollar exits post FDA approval. So FDA approval is the most important thing. In terms of what we need to get there, we've actually already had 2 meetings with the FDA, and we have 6 different studies that we need to do for them as part of this process. There's a 2-phase clinical trial, and the rest is analytical studies that show that our device is reproducible in the lab and we have the right quality controls for each component of the product.
And how much do you think it's going to cost you in order to make all this research and reports?
Yeah, I mean, so the companies that are in this space, they've generally spent anywhere between $80 and $150 million in funding raised to get to FDA approval, which is pretty standard. And then for context, these companies had multi-billion-dollar exits. Guardant Health shortly after their IPO had a $6 billion valuation. Foundation Medicine was acquired for a similar amount by Roche as well. So that's the kind of exit scale you're looking at with the $100 or so million raised in funding.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And the time is unfortunately up already, but thank you so much, Dilek. And you already unshared your screen, fantastic. So with that, we should have now enough space on stage for Sahin to call in. And yes, here we are. Let's make a quick sound test. Can I hear you?
Yeah.
Fantastic, I can hear you, yes. You may also want to share your screen and may actually tell us how I pronounce the new name of the company, because you just rebranded, right? From the CV finals to the final.
That is right. It is called Faraday.
Faraday now. Okay, fantastic. And just again to remind you, you have 3 minutes for the pitch and then 5 minutes of Q&A. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. This is Shaheen. I'm co-founder and CEO of Faraday, and we are empowering connected and intelligent energy with IoT and AI technologies. We are experiencing one of the biggest transformations of all time in energy domain. However, there is a huge gap in the data-driven intelligence and the flexible, interoperable, energy-specific AI platforms. So we are a London and Istanbul-based growing software company targeting this challenge. Our patent-pending cloud-based energy and sustainability intelligence platform is a software as a service, hardware-agnostic, cross-industry solution right now utilized across a number of industries, including banking, retail, office buildings, manufacturing, and government. What we do is we provide AI-powered platform as a service solution with no-code development tools like customizable dashboards, model-driven AI tools, all the reporting tools for creating business value and saving up to 20% of energy, and also providing an average of 1,000 man-hour operational efficiency. We partnered with companies like Oracle, Cisco, ISS, and JLL, and right now we have footprint in 10 countries and paying customers, including very well-known brands in their own domains, such as IKEA, Zara, P&G, PepsiCo, Shell, and many more. The platform enables facility managers, energy managers, and also technical managers to collect, store, analyze, organize, and most importantly, operationalize all necessary real-time energy and operational data and turn it into actionable intelligence with real-time feedback and also data-driven operational efficiency. Our biggest edge, biggest differentiator is our deep analytical intelligence and also the enterprise machine learning applications. It helps our users to utilize it with more energy saving, have better decision support mechanisms, and it is recognized by AWS as a finalist in their AI challenge. And also one of his presentations, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella himself recognized as one of the most impactful AI startups in energy transition. Before our commercialization in 2017, we had in total of 6 years of academic and industry background in institutions like MIT, Siemens, and so on. Then our service launched in 2017. We raised $1 million of VC fund from US and UK based venture capitals, and also acquired around $1 million of government funds.
Thank you, Sain. I do have to interrupt you here. Sorry, we'll start the Q&A now. And yeah, maybe if there's some charts you want to show us. Okay, judges, please, your questions.
Question, do you own any of your technology? Is that any of that you own? And the second question I have is, how do you charge?
All the technology stack is developed by our software engineers with government-supported R&D projects, and we have patent pending applications, all for middleware, big data analytics engine, AI engine, all the visualization engine. And the sales model is software as a service, subscription-based model, direct sales or partner channel. And the average ticket size from a facility is starting from $500 per month, goes up to $5,000 per month.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Sain.
Hello.
Thank you for the presentation. A question on the product from your customer standpoint. So when I install the SaaS, I understand that I get some analysis and insights on my energy consumption. But what are exactly the type of actions that I should take, that you advise me to take to reduce that? Do I need to invest? Do I need to change my machines? Do I need to change some hardware? What's the impact, in fact, for me?
Great question. What we do is we analyze all your critical assets, all your HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning systems, also your utility bill tariff structure with the real-time pricing, and with the models we developed in our cloud, we run all the analytics, all the simulations, and come back to you with recommendations and abnormality detections, some predictions. So our energy managers and facility managers can utilize this data for optimizing the set points, changing the tariff structure, also finding out the root causes of different excessive consumptions. And additionally, we can remotely optimize and control energy and critical power infrastructure. Without any human interruption, the platform itself can utilize AI algorithms to manage and minimize the energy costs in real time.
Okay. So that means that you would have a sort of long-term contract with me as a customer if you are there to advise and control my systems. What's the average length of your contracts?
It starts from 18 months and it can go up to 5 years. And our churn rate is really low. It is 1% average annually. So once our customer starts utilizing our platform, it is like SAP of energy and sustainability intelligence. We integrate into all their business systems, ERP, SCADA, CRM, and different process management systems. So it is a really sticky product, and we have customer success team, which enables customer satisfaction.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about the team and how you come up into the space? Sure.
Let me go back to team slide. So we started as 3 co-founders with diverse backgrounds in industry and academy in smart grid, energy efficiency, and renewables. We combined our master thesis and also industry experience to form the company as an academy spin-off company. And then we developed our dynamic team, as you can see, in Istanbul and in London. We have in total of 40 people, mostly data scientists, AI engineers, software developers, and also IoT engineers. And we have a really international advisory board, including our investors, Capria Ventures, which is IFC and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation-backed fund, impact fund, and also academicians and industry leaders. So I believe we established a really great team with a good execution, better caring of the customer, and faster execution.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, the time is over now. But thank you very much for your presentation.
Thanks
Please
a lot
unshare,
for your comments.
Yeah, please unshare your screen, and then we can invite the last contestant on stage. That should be Stacks, Benjamin from Stacks. Here we go. No, sorry. No, that's me. It's number 9. It's not the last. Smart Future. Sorry, Sumit. I was
thinking, yeah,
to...
I started with Benjamin. I was like, yeah, is it the wrong? Has my
I was
term
like,
probably finished?
I was like, time flies, already number 10. See, no, here we go. Sorry. Of course, Smart Future. Fantastic. Telehealth in the box, you're ready. I can hear you. I can see your screen. So you have 3 minutes of pitch, and then we have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Thank you.
All good?
Yep, all good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sumit Khimani. I'm from Smart Future. We're a Singapore-based company in the space of telehealth. So telehealth, the available telehealth options are not enough, and that's the problem we are solving. The Uber-like aggregator model is the most prevalent, in which doctors will be aggregated on one end and patients on the other. But a lot of the doctors don't want to send their existing patients to a third-party app where there are hundreds of other doctors. A lot of the bigger hospitals will tend to have their own in-house team or hire a software development company. But a lot of the work is being replicated and a lot of money is being wasted to develop the same platform. Smaller doctors will use WhatsApp or any messaging app, obviously not scalable. A lot of data entry job is involved. What we have built over the last 5 years is an engine, is a development engine with a lot of modules inside. It's able to generate a telehealth platform for any size of clinic or hospital, and it's white label. So it's in the brand of the client. It's zero upfront fees. It's on a subscription model. What it would have, some of the modules I'm going to show, obviously mobile app for users would be probably for all the clients we have. A web dashboard for the doctor would be in most of the cases, or it could be integrated with the existing EMR. So a plugin could be provided to integrate. And there are hundreds of other modules that they can pick and choose what they want. Remote vitals is the most important, and I'm going to cover in the next slide. But obviously video, audio, chat is also very common. Integration with last mile delivery companies, integration with labs. Documents being generated, but very important, a reason why everybody works with us is because we are able to capture medical grade vitals through the devices we provide to the doctors. We are able to do it remotely for the doctor, and in different form factors for different locations they are provided. And on its own, the platform that we built is able to analyze some of the readings, some of the questions people have answered, and help doctor to make better diagnosis and offer better treatment. Other than that, there are many modules. I can't go in detail, but there are many reports that can be created for insurance companies, for claims processing, payment gateway. If any payment has to be charged, everything is included. On a high level architecture point of view, it's important to note everything is in the environment of the client, no sharing of any API, cloud is of the client, payment gateway, SMS gateway, everything belongs to that client itself. HIPAA and GDPR compliant, very important thing. Plan for every size of client, every country that we are in. 60% of our revenue comes from the SaaS, but also 40% from the devices I mentioned earlier. 9 months we have been breaking even and consistently doing more than 150,000 US per month. Traction, important to note, more than 1 million vitals captured from the devices we have given, numerous acceleration programs, many awards, partnerships with people who bring us clients, but also with companies that improve our solution. Future for us is Southeast Asia, where we are growing organically, opportunities in millions, and team has an experience of more than 200 years in different fields, banking, healthcare, hospitals, and total 23 people as of today. Thank you.
Oh, that was perfect. Exactly 3 minutes. Thank you very much, Sui. And so Q&A, yes, please shoot away, judges.
I'm going to go a little bit different than usual. I'm going to actually ask you about your competitors, and if you could perhaps maybe do, I mean, where you mentioned your expansion plans. I know the Good Doctor on Ping An's app. Maybe you can just tell us a little bit about the landscape and how you see the competitors in the various places as you look to expand.
Yep. So we are actually a hybrid of two types of industries. One is a software development company and the platform, telehealth companies as we know it. So Teladoc would be on one end and a software development company, let's say based out of India, will be on the other. So 70% to 80% of our work is automated, means we don't share source code. We have existing source code where based on the pick and choose model, we will develop certain amount, some product and then customize it at the end before we launch it. So that's the competition would be, you can say indirect competition is telehealth companies as well as the software development companies. And markets for us, obviously Southeast Asia was always the plan. COVID has kind of pushed us to US recently. We have 2 pilots going on where the remote patient monitoring is a big thing is in US right now. It got covered by Medicare, where a doctor could claim up to $27 per month per patient by just doing a few things and generating reports for Medicare. So that's a market where suddenly it has become very interesting, where pilots are going on, and I think probably next year is a market where we want to launch white label platforms for every physician out there who wants to, inpatient or outpatient, who wants to offer remote patient monitoring to their patients. So that's just a little bit on where we are as of today.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, Sumit, I may jump in now. A quick question on your scalability of the product, because we understand you are at the crossroads between software development, SaaS platform, but also a little bit of hardware. So that's a lot of things to care for. How do you succeed in being scalable enough to get all those customers on board?
Yeah, the ideal situation is that we have system integrated, like Salesforce has system integrators. Can we one day reach a stage where people are picking up our modules and building for the end client? So not there yet. It's a part of something our tech team is always working on. Can we have a Git library, especially for Southeast Asia? We really don't want to hire people and then do it. We'd like a model of how Salesforce does it. On the hardware front as well, only in Singapore, we are providing the kits. In other markets, we are giving a list of devices that are already integrated and the doctors can on their own eventually buy. So we are a software company where we need to have hardware at the start to prove what we are doing. And eventually we do think Omrons and AccuChecks and everything that we have integrated are available readily. Even the patient could eventually buy it. So it's still work in progress. We obviously, COVID has kind of fast tracked it and we are made to look into these problems now. But I think software integrator for the software part and having patients or doctors buy the devices on their own on the hardware front, that's the future even in 3 to 4 years, I would say.
Okay, thank you. And in that case, what would be, you think, your rhythm of onboarding per month, for instance?
The numbers I gave, 45,000 in 5 years. That's a very drastic number from 200 today. So that is what we are looking at, thousands per month eventually. Once we reach a system integrator reseller model, we're not there yet, but we are building the stack so that other people can make solution using our stack. We are building that as we speak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sumit. I had a few questions regarding the hardware. Are you actually manufacturing your own hardware? And isn't it dependent on the country as well? Because you're subject to several regulations.
Exactly. So we know we don't, we are not manufacturer. We integrate as many SDKs we can get, whoever is open to share with us. But all the bigger guys, Omron, EcuCheck, they have shared their SDKs. Even recently, all the stethoscopes have come up. So they are open so far. Whoever is open, we would love to have it, trying to build an open source where we would, whichever market, whatever is registered. But a lot of the SDKs we have registered are already FDA approved and CE approved, because there's a major markets. Every manufacturer wants to do it. We may have registered a device in Singapore in our brand name because it was not registered. So we are authorized and may do it in some countries if it's really a smaller country, let's say for Thailand or Indonesia, where a particular device, it's an ECG portable monitor, for example. We may come in and we feel value in it. We may put money to do it. But a bigger plan is not to do that and just work with all the existing. So a lot of the bigger guys will not work with each other. They may work with a person like us who's building software for the clinics and hospitals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So I probably could just have a yes or no, but with that business model, then you don't need any regulatory clearance, right?
Yeah. Again, it may be a class A or class 1 as we speak, the app or platform itself. But if we are doing analytics, but no, it just once.
Great. Sorry, I asked you a question. I gave you 3 seconds to answer, but I think I got my answer. Thank you very much.
I could have answered yes or no. Yeah, it's a gray answer always. Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
Fantastic. No, very good. Thank you very much, Sumit. Yes, so please just unshare your screen. And then last but not least, we have, here we go, Benjamin back on screen. Good to see you again, Benjamin.
Hey, hi, Karina. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Yes, so you're going to present Stacks to us. And so please start sharing your screen. You will have 3 minutes to pitch. And then we have 5 minutes for Q&A. And I can see your screen is loading. Fantastic. You may want to go on full screen mode. You are on full screen mode. We can hear you. So whenever you're ready, please start.
Okay, I'm ready. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ben. I'm the founder and managing director of Stacks, a Singapore B2B fintech company. I would like to share with you how we are empowering financial markets sustainably. Our team is made up of experienced industry veterans. Many of us come with more than 20 years in the capital markets industries from the largest banks and institutions and global technology MNCs, while I have been a successful fintech entrepreneur before this. And the problem that we see is that the financial markets are far too complex as they are fragmented. Post-trade processes are linearly dependent, complex and expensive, where every institution uses a different system and ledger. This results in high cost of capital locked up, while ineffective manual clearing processes result in high operational costs and costly failed trades. With Stacks, we provide a common blockchain infrastructure for these financial institutions to now be able to trade, clear, and reconcile accurately in real time. And the opportunity is to unlock massive value in an 8,900 trillion US dollar market, where 880 billion US dollars is locked up every single day, and where 35 billion euros are being paid in penalties for the roughly 6% of trades that fail every year, just in the EU alone. With Stacks, our clients can now drive down clearing to be on the same day, cut down their costs by as much as 90%, and eliminate costly errors and failed trades by being a perpetual real-time reconciliation. And this is a solution that financial institutions need right now, as the industry is facing pressures from both regulatory and industry reforms, which are demanding for higher penalties and shorter settlement times. And our market is large, with the industry spending more than 700 billion US dollars every year, of which we identify about 300 billion being spent on manual processes. If these current processes are to be done on Stacks, we're looking at a $30 billion company, even with just a 10% market share. And we are ready. Our revenue generating live platform already covers various business functions, and our clients include national stock exchanges, global banks, and top tier asset managers. They are now able to enjoy up to 90% improvements in efficiencies, greater revenue capacity, and new opportunities in strategic verticals like green financing. We have also been recognized by the industry internationally. For example, we're an award winner at the annual MES Global FinTech Awards for Sustainability and Green Finance, awarded twice the FSTI grants by the MES for innovation in the financial sector, and received other global industry awards, such as from Gartner, the Asset, and UBS. We have already achieved our targets for 2020 in our roadmap and are on track to achieve the targets for the next 3 years. We are setting ourselves up to be the platform of the future for the financial services industry, starting with APAC right now and then other regions. And we are looking for strategic partners to scale up and empower the global financial markets together. Thank you.
Wow, great, fantastic, perfect pitch again. Exactly 3 minutes, so 5 minutes for Q&A. Please, judges, go ahead.
Mine's a rather broad question, but perhaps rather simple. So any expansion plans, or if it is, it looks like you've got slightly regulatory, perhaps, things to consider by going global. So I guess, are there plans to expand and expand globally, or where to? And then if so, would you see there being any regulatory compliance issues around that?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, today we are providing our products as a software as a service, which means that we have actually gotten clearance. We have legal counsel and written to the MAS to make sure that we are not flouting any regulations just by being a tech partner. But of course, we got greater ambitions because we want to also provide some of these clearing and business processes, okay, as the intermediary. And that's where we need to, next year, get ourselves licensed to be able to provide these services end to end. And that will also mean that, as we become a service provider or licensed service provider, okay, many of these services will be portable, okay, starting from where we are in Asia, okay, and of course the relevant licensing in the other financial hubs in Hong Kong, and of course in the EU and the US.
Thank you. I'm going to be slightly greedy. I'm just going to ask you, do you think perhaps you're a bit ahead of your time here? Because you say even in your pitch, and the industry is already moving, but everyone's still moving to DLT. So do you think you're perhaps ahead of the curve or before your time?
Well, we are slightly ahead, which is perfectly placed. Yeah, because we are part of the International Security Services Association, also known as ISA. They just did a survey last year, and 79% of the survey institutions actually have started to devote DLT resources, meaning more than $1 million of the budget to DLT. So that's where institutions are really catching up and really see this vision. We just need to be able to execute to get in front of them.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I can jump in. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
What is, you think, your biggest barrier to entry to any further competitor? Is it the tech itself, or do you think it is more being the first mover in the space?
Interestingly, I think that we have already gone past the acceptance of the technology in the sense that we have really proven, and even before us, other folks have really proven that such technologies could be used in the financial services sector. Okay, I just think that, okay, basically we are still really ahead, okay, in terms of execution. While we are not the first mover in getting out there, we are definitely implementing various live case studies already. And that is actually very useful for us. Our obstacle is therefore, just making sure that we are able to create this network effect. When we are able to do that, this actually becomes our defensive mode, which is right now where we are focused on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. As we are on the slide of revenue, can you share with us about Q1 for this year?
For this year, right? Okay, so Q1 for this year is actually financial year 2020, which is the last year of 2020, and we have actually been, so it covered. Q1 has been covered inside the first step here, which is 2020. So we have already achieved a revenue of $750 over the last 12 months, and that, of course, are largely implementation fees. Although we have already started seeing a small proportion of recurring income from the case studies that have gone live. So
okay.
We stand to see a larger proportion soon.
And the revenue for the last 3 months?
Revenue for the last 3 months is about, pardon me for a moment, definitely around 200,000.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. And
Thank you, Ben.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
Because I think when Nicholas was asking for the barrier to entry, do you think that actually your technology, the one that you're using, is quite a barrier to entry? Or really, because you're talking about the network effects, but really about the technology part, how long did it take you to actually deploy it?
Yeah, Karen, that's a great point. You know, our go-to-market strategy actually includes us deploying the ready tech such that institutions, you know, if I meet a bank today, I can give them a demo and a demo account right away that they can take back and validate their own case studies. So the thing here is that we have actually spent the last 3 years. Our company was founded in 2019, but actually we started development work in 2018 informally. And when we were ready to deploy, we decided that this is worth our time, you know, to gather together the team, okay, and deploy the infrastructure. So that's where we are, I like to say, millions of dollars and 3 years ahead of many other people who might be thinking of doing this. Okay, and before they can even start, we are already creating this network effect as a defensive barrier.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Thank you.
So unfortunately, I do have to cut you short here, but thank you very much. I think Karen got her answer.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Very good. And now I just wanted to warn the judges that you will be requested to leave this room because we will have the pleasure to deliberate now. And while we do so, I just want to remind you that GSC 21, Global Startup Competition 21, is an integral part of SIS 21. And I already encouraged you previously to, you know, grab your tickets, but you may still be wondering what SIS is all about. So we have prepared a little teaser video for you, and I'll see you soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Josephine. I would say that was a pretty epic video. As Karina has said, GSC is part of the wider Scale Up Impact Summit. Again, scan the QR code to make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be an incredible one on the 25th to 26th of May. It's going to be an interesting experience because you're not just going to be expected to sit down and watch, you are expected to participate very actively across the 2 days and really drive conversation alongside our amazing speakers from around the world. But I've talked a lot about Scale Up Impact Summit. While the judges are deliberating, I thought I'd take a chance to talk to you about Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area. So there's a lot about Hong Kong, and we are Hong Kong's largest startup ecosystem community. So why Hong Kong? Hong Kong is a very service-oriented economy characterized by incredibly low taxation and almost free port trade. And it is a very well-established financial market, as you would all know. It's built on a long, long history of trade and commerce. Starting a business here is really easy and safe. There's a lot of support across the community from companies such as Christie's, Shorts, Binnersley and Associates, from our partners such as Invest Hong Kong, and even us, WHub. Talent is readily available from top universities across Hong Kong. Just to name a few, there's HKU, HKUST, CUHK, and even within these universities, there are a lot of entrepreneurial societies that nurture entrepreneurs at a young age. For instance, there is HKU's Idendron. There's also a new initiative by CityU, which is called 300 on Hong Kong Tech, which aims to nurture 300 startups within their alumni across 3 years. So these are ambitious and very fast growing talent pools that are happening right here in Hong Kong, like every day. There's also a lot of government funding available to nurture your talent, whether it's upskilling them on their tech skills or even professional skills such as legal, accounting, and these kind of skills. International talent is also very readily accessible. I mean, I know this is COVID time, so traveling is a bit restricted, but Hong Kong is a very attractive city for students to come and study, given its diversity and diverse culture. Access to funding is also incredibly readily available. Hong Kong has the highest density of high net worth individual. That gives us a very active VC funding scene in Hong Kong, as well as angel investing, obviously. IPOs are highest in Hong Kong. And also we have Hong Kong's first and only licensed startup investment platform, Angel Hub, which is our sister company. Not only this, we also have a very sophisticated regulatory environment. For instance, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has set up something called the FinTech Supervisory Sandbox, which is the FSS. And this is essentially created in 2016 to really allow banks to partner with technology firms to pilot trial their FinTech initiatives. And this involves a little numbers of participants to test out their products and get real-time results to assess their product and pivot along their way. And as of 2021, end of January, we've already had 200 pilot trials. So regulatory environments like this has really encouraged more and more partners to work with young technology startups to come up with new and more exciting solutions that can be tested before they're brought into the market. And of course, we're very strategically positioned. Hong Kong is reachable to half of the world's population within 5 hours flight time, again, pre-COVID times. Now we are like, everything is accessible online. And it's part of the Greater Bay Area, which I'll talk about in a few slides. This essentially allows readily accessible connections to manufacturing. So whereas it may take startups 3 months in other countries to build a prototype, it could take up to 3 days in the Greater Bay Area. So everything is really, really close by and very accessible. Just to talk about a couple of Hong Kong's firsts. Hong Kong does have the highest unicorn density per capita. So currently we have 8 unicorns, anything from WeLab, which is a fintech company, a virtual bank, BitMEX, which is a crypto exchange and derivative trading platform. We have Lala Move, which is a logistics on-demand deliveries platform. We have SenseTime, which is the world's highest valued AI company. Klook, which is a platform for travel activities and booking services. GoGoX, which is another logistics delivery platform. And of course, AirWallex, which is a financial service company. We also again have a lot of amazing events happening other than our Scale Up Impact Summit. We have obviously amazing events such as the FinTech Week, which is Hong Kong and Shenzhen's first cross-border FinTech event, which originated in 2018, and 2019 we've had it happen again in 2020, and we're looking forward to the 2021 version. We currently have 8 virtual banking licenses, and actually we have 4 virtual insurance licenses right now, and we are intending to grow that to 8 very, very soon. So to talk about the Greater Bay Area a little bit more, as you can see, the Greater Bay Area is pretty sizable. It is essentially the initiative to create an economic cluster that includes 11 cities across the Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau region, and will promote growth, innovation, and better relationships between countries and within regions. The GBA in scope is comparable to the Tokyo Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and the New York area, and will represent one of the largest urban areas in both population and size. As you can see on the right-hand side there are different areas that will be flourishing in the respective cities that they're in. So Hong Kong, for instance, given it is an international financial hub, fintech, innovation, tech talent will be readily available here, where Shenzhen is more of a hardware domestic finance hub. Guangzhou is more of an international business and trade center. Macau, obviously known for its tourism, gaming, hospitality. It is also a Portuguese-speaking business center. And obviously, Pearl River Delta will be really focused on advanced manufacturing. So really, the GBA only accounts for 0.6% of China's land and 5% of the population, yet it actually accounts for 12% of the country's GDP. So there is a lot of available infrastructure and available tech talent and capital here. According to a Collier's research, the GBA economy is expected to reach $3.6 trillion by 2030. So that's not too far away, just 9 more years to go. Just to show a little bit more what the GBA has already achieved. Currently, we have 44 unicorns in the city, and 25 of them being situated in Shenzhen, 9 of them in Hong Kong, 7 in Guangzhou. I would say that most of them are predominantly based in Shenzhen, and they are hardware unicorns. And the others unicorn would involve e-commerce, healthcare, robotics, fintech, and biotech. Obviously, the Greater Bay Area has really proven itself to be capable of nurturing successful startups, not only regionally, but also globally. Just to name a few on the list there in the middle, DJI is the world leader in drones. Sensign, which I've already mentioned, is the world's highest valued AI company. WeBank is the world's first virtual bank granting loans through facial recognition technology. And there's obviously many, many more. Moreover, the GBA has proven to bring successful companies to exits as well, such as Tencent, Huawei, and Ping An. It's really like a reliable infrastructure. It has a lot of access to resources such as talent, capital, research and development, and it has a proximity to large pools of diverse consumer base and a really ambitious young generation of talent that are ready to make this change happen. So really, this is a huge ingredient for the success that it has already achieved. You can learn more about the Greater Bay Area through our Greater Bay Area white paper. There is a QR code here, and you can learn about all the challenges, all the opportunities, all the community members that are involved in the Greater Bay Area. Given that I have a couple more minutes to talk to you guys, I wanted to already share with you some opportunities and challenges that we are facing as part of the Greater Bay Area. So some opportunities to start off with. So that we have a very supportive government policy. So actually, one of the key government policies are called the Outline Development Plan for the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. And what this really is, it was established in February 2019, and it has laid out the whole vision for the region to evolve into a technology and innovation hub. And it's essentially here to rival Silicon Valley and the Tokyo Bay Area. Secondly, the market integration for trade and investment. So we have something called the Closer Economic Partnership Agreement between the mainland and Hong Kong and Macau. So this is for short CEPA. It's essentially an economic framework to provide easy access to commerce, services, investments, talent, and technology between all partners. And this was signed very, very early on in 2003. And it was the first free trade agreement between the mainland and Hong Kong, and really encouraging trade and investments. Third, there is a huge infrastructure development there. So connectivity is very, very available. And there is more plans and developments in place to increase the interconnectivity. Again, there's a lot of top talent clusters. There are over 80 universities across the GBA, where Hong Kong, I have just named a few, there's over 80 in the entire GBA. There's also diversified industries, leveraging the differences. There are opportunities for collaboration and partnerships across these various industries within the 11 cities. Last but not least, it is a very innovative hub built on the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park, which is a significant opportunity to leverage the different regions. So of course, it doesn't come without its challenges. I think one of the most identifiable is the cultural differences, the language differences, policies, and legal areas. So there are obviously three different there are obviously different languages involved, from the mainland, which speaks Mandarin, and there is Hong Kong, which speaks Cantonese English, and there is Macau that speaks Portuguese English. Obviously comes with different cultural backgrounds as well, given the language that we speak is different. So whereas the mainland may prefer doing business in more related to Guanxi, whereas Hong Kong is more about, whereas Portuguese is more about like handling business through contracts. Obviously, there are differences there that needs to be addressed. There are also very different. Sorry, I'm just getting signals that we are ready for the final winners to be announced. So I'm just gonna go to my next slide. So hopefully I've shared a bit more about Hong Kong and Greater Bay Area, and you've learned a bit more and got the opportunity to scan the QR code. I'm going to hand it back to the judges, as I think they have a winner for us now.
Okay, so I was trying to get some virtual drum rolls here, and just to remind everyone what is up for grabs. So the winner can win up to $10,000 in cash and the opportunity to raise an equity round of up to $1 million. And you know, I just want to, before we get to the announcement, really say a huge thank you once again to our amazing sponsors. So you saw Christy very engaged also on our panel, and Schwartz Bindersley and Associates, our platinum sponsors, once again, very loyal supporters, not only of WHub and AngelHub, but the startup ecosystem at large. Same as, you know, our wonderful partners, Intesa Sanpaolo, who sponsored particularly the mobility and smart city vertical this time, and are with us again at SIS. And thank you very much to our overall global startup competition sponsors, Invest Hong Kong and the Start Me Up Hong Kong team. And I also want to make sure that we say thank you to our over 40 partners again for this GSC 2021 round. We could not have done it without you, and thank you for spreading the word and also encouraging your portfolio companies to take part. We could clearly testify, you know, once again, about the diversity as well, the quality of startups pitching here for the grand prize. So with that, I actually get to announce the winners. And the thing is, you know, in every pitching competition, the first thing the judges will tell you that it was a really hard choice. Now, arguably, given that we really took quite some time, should give you a certification that it was a very tough choice this time. And I have to say, because it was that tough, we just made the deliberate decision to say that that's not going to be only one winner, but this year, GSC 21 will have 3 winners. Okay, so with that, let me just take, without any particular order, announce the 3 winners. So the first, and now I actually get a virtual round. Thank you very much, a virtual and physical round. So the first that I would like to announce are Benjamin from Stacks. Where do I have Benjamin? And I see Benjamin on screen. Well, congratulations, Benjamin. We can see him. Anything, you want to come out like fresh from the heart? Any testimonial? No, you're on mute. Okay, well, we'll put you aside. I think we'll try to get kind of like a winner photo of all winners and judges at the same time. Here we go. Yes. And the second winner that I'm gonna announce, again, it's not like first, second, whatever. It's just like without any order, but another winner, maybe that's a better way to phrase it. Congratulations to Sumit from Smart Future. Where do I have Sumit?
Yes, I am here.
Him over there. There he is, and we could hear him.
Yes, thank you, really. Yeah, so there are 3 winners. So yeah, I just thought chances are higher then. So I was waiting. So thank you everyone. Thank you judges. Obviously very happy with this, and hopefully this helps us in one way or the other. Thanks a lot, Karina. Thank you everyone.
Well, thank you. We will be honored to be associated to your journey. And then last but not least, another winner who will join the podium. And I would like to say a huge congrats to Lynn from Damogo. Here we see the beautiful, here we're going to say the beautiful logo. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, super excited, super happy. Obviously, going up against like these great startups. There's a reason why they're here. So I'm honored to have pitched against everyone, and looking forward to doing big things. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to see these other startups doing big things as well. So I'm super excited. Congratulations to everyone else as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I was just wondering if Benjamin also wanted to say a few words. I saw you, I think you were able, Benjamin disconnected. I think we have some connection issues actually with Benjamin, because he's like on and off. I can see him on and off. But while I try to see if we can bring Benjamin back for a few words, I just really wanted to say a huge thank you to all of the startups that pitched. And we would truly be honored to stay very, very closely in touch and make sure that we can help in any capacity possible. So for us, you are all winners, not only because you won the semifinals, but really because we truly believe that you have a wonderful, wonderful project undergoing. And once again, we would be very honored if we could help in any way. So we'll clearly be in touch with everyone and each and one of you. And then I think we'll just try one more time to see if we can get, Benjamin back on stage, because we want to, of course, hear any fresh kind of like feedback. Well, we do have Lynn and we do have Sumit pinned here for a beautiful screenshot of the 2 of the 3 winning companies here. Okay, fantastic. I think we probably don't really have a connection to Benjamin. At least the connection was good enough for him to deliver the pitch and win, which is great. And yeah, with that, really, please make sure that you reach out not only to us, but also to our amazing partners, Swartz, Bindersley and Associates, particularly with any legal questions, not only in the fintech space, but in the broader startup and innovation scene. Obviously, to Intesa San Paulo, and stay close to their wonderful program, particularly if you're in the smart city and mobility arena. And then obviously also make sure you're part of Invest Hong Kong and Start Me Up's festival week that is coming up in May 24th, and make sure you tune in and be part of SIS 21. And I can see Benjamin actually now on. Do you think we can still I'm just getting some approval here from my CTO. Benjamin, do you want to say a few words? I think your internet connection is back. No, not. Okay, no problem, guys. With this, we'll record Benjamin, and for anybody who's interested what he had to say, we'll send it to you. Okay, so thank you very much. And once again, thank you to the judges, thank you to the sponsors and partners, and hope to see you all at SIS 21 on May 25th and 26th. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.